Hey guys, it's Lefty from 643 Productions welcoming you to another gameplay commentary. And I know I'm a cynical bastard. and a lot of people have noticed that, and I would argue I'm realistic, and there's mostly I'm right in my cynicism. Sometimes I'm not. Well, hey, you can't win them all. But I do have an overtly realistically cynical outlook on life. And a lot of people have identified some parallels between myself and the likes of George Carlin, the famed comedian, or the late famed comedian, and that pseudo-philosopher. I argue that Carlin wasn't just a comedian. He was more of a philosopher in his time. Or not more of a philosopher, but there were philosophical elements to his social commentaries, and I think they should be given the proper weight as such, not just as funny comedic bits. And I echo, though I do not parrot, some of his views on humanity, and just some of the things that we're just apes. We're not that far removed from apes. We're shaved apes, really. And just some of the stupid stuff we do, the petty, awful stuff we do, believing in an invisible man and telling a woman who was raped that she can't have an abortion because the invisible man says it's bad, and trying to legislate morality on other people, and it's awful. But I thought of a way to counterbalance that. To counterbalance if you want to call it negativity, again, I call it realism. Counterbalance my realistic, I guess I could say, what would be a good word here? My realistic, my penchant, if you will, for pointing out the realism of situations, is to identify things in humanity that are cool. Because it's not all bad. Like, again, overall, Modern Warfare 3, kind of a bad game. There are cool things in it. There are things in it that are done reasonably well or even very well. But that doesn't change the overall hue of the game in terms of it being bad. So, again, there are elements of Modern Warfare 3, just like every game. There are elements of pretty much every game, hopefully every game, that are done really well. But not all of it. It doesn't the summation of those bad things doesn't change the overall goodness of the game. But so there are some things that I think humanity has done really well, and it is just so cool. I mean, again, I say from time to time that we're little more than shaved apes, and that's true to a certain extent. And for most intents and purposes, that is an apt, sufficient description of humans. But at the same time, there are also some things that are just really cool, like the internet. And I'll start it off here. I mean, let me know in the comments some of the things that you think humanity has done that is just over and above the rest of the bullshit noise that we create as human beings. What are some things that you think humanity has done, created, or proliferated that is cool? Now, again, for me, I'll start off the series, and maybe this will be like a series of things, individual videos on things that humanity has created. And while humanity is sickening in its own right, humanity has created some things that are pretty damn cool. The internet, for me, and this will kick off the series. The internet is an immensely intricate, involved, and overall powerful tool. And we still are just tapping the source of the power that is the infrastructure that is of the internet. It is a tool that we are still very much trying to figure out how to use. We're kind of just going with the flow, and then eventually somebody figures something out. We're like, oh, this is cool. It's not just, it is data transfer, but it doesn't have to be just data storage. It can be upload and transferring stuff. Just the scope of the internet and the ability to transfer messages and ideas and data across vast distances and to really bring the world closer together. The internet, when you take a political science course, or at least in international relations, you learn about globalization and how the world has indeed become smaller when you view it through the context of the ability for people across the globe to exchange ideas and theories and data that otherwise would have taken months or years or maybe not even at all. And it has indeed made the world smaller and completely changed how we view things, completely changed how we interact with each other. And it will continue to do so as the internet continually broadens its scope. It will begin to even blur the lines, especially if computing power keeps up. We will be able to blur the lines between what is reality and what is born from the internet in a virtual world. So again, humanity overall to me is a sickening thing. At least right now. We are no great shakes whatsoever in this in our little corner of the galaxy here. And hopefully that changes. Again, hopefully it does. I'm not content with this. I would be the first person in line to help initiate that change of humanity. However, there are a lot of things that humanity does that are really, really cool. And to kick off this series, the internet is one of them. What's yours? Let me know in the comments below. But anyway, guys, that's my time. I got to get out of here. Thank you for joining. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to drop a like on this video if you did enjoy. Remember, likes, favorites, comments, and shares via Facebook and Twitter do help me out. Thank you guys for joining. I hope you enjoyed. I am out.